Daniel Dekay at Knotfest coming at you. Aftershock 2022. Sitting here with Daniel from Nothing More, who just laid waste to this place. Yeah? You're still in
I destroyed
the zone.
it. Yeah.
You fucking killed it.
The crowd just stopped cheering in my head. I'm sorry.
Just own the moment. It's yours. Cherish it forever.
Yeah. Oh, man. Aftershock is a very historic festival for us. We unsigned were the first band, first day, tiny stage. Danny Wimmer came out and saw us and loved the show. And then I forget the band who dropped off the next day, but one of the headliners.
He was a main stage slot.
A 4 p.m. main stage slot opened up, and he, injected us into that. And, the music industry kind of lit up for us after that. So
I was going to say, it feels like a very apt and momentous first meeting for you and I to have is at the festival that there's so much lore about your band in this festival. Like, this is truly your stomping grounds, man.
Yeah. I mean, we crossed the desert, verge of overheating the whole time. Van literally water pump pulley shears off as we coast into our parking spot behind the stage. It's like kind of destined to be there.
This is wild. Is this like an annual thing for the band? Do you guys always play every year?
Every other year.
I love that.
As often as they let us.
I love that. That's awesome. What do you like? What do you remember about that first set? It's 2013, right?
Yeah.
So like, what was there like? Did you guys bring out the big guns for that specifically? Like, was there something you were doing special for that set? Like, what are your memories? And like, did you have any idea that what you were being graded on and the importance of that, that 30 minutes as it was going down?
Yeah. No. I did. I honestly had no clue. No idea. It was kind of hilarious too. We're just indie touring out here, pick up this random gig at a shotgun bar in Reno. Play the set, I go out back, have a cigarette, and there's like a group of 12 guys hanging out, and they're all super pumped. All of a sudden, I realize that they're all like a white supremacy group, and I'm just like, oh my God,
fuck.
This is how the band's breaking? No, like this is gonna ruin us. And then the next day we played Aftershock, and it was like, oh, whew.
It's yin and yang, man.
It was strange.
Take the blows as you go.
It was a wild trip. Yeah.
Dude, stoked that I'm here for this. Speaking of these incredible opportunities, playing to festival crowds and getting that main stage slot, playing for thousands of extra people, getting signed to a label because of it. You guys have done other really cool placements. Mr. MTV thing, the Retaliator soundtrack. How valuable are these opportunities, these placements, these crossover opportunities for emerging bands to be exposed to much wider audiences?
Yeah. I mean, it's huge. It takes, I don't know, think of how many times you might have heard a song just like in the mall or in a friend's car before like something happens to make you like really pay attention to it and fall in love with it for real, and that's kind of what those avenues become for sure. You don't necessarily go out and the next show you play there's 500 more people, but as you just kind of keep going and playing and those opportunities present themselves, it definitely all kind of weaves this web that causes a band to grow, and explode.
And I'm sure, like, as you know, you play different festivals and different stops along the way. I'm sure there's, like, tons of people you meet who say, hey, I heard you guys because of X. And you're like, oh, fuck yeah, I guess it's working, right?
Yeah. Oh, totally, for sure. Yeah, my favorite story of that, so one thing we used to do back in the indie touring days is we would say we're playing like Baton Rouge, Louisiana, we'd go to the campus of LSU and do just like a drum circle thing, like in the quad, and pass out demos that we burned. And every now and again, a fan will surface and be like, I got this. And it's like, what?
Oh,
I don't even have that. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's cool. The OGs.
Super OG. Yeah.
Dude, and those people become part of the fabric of the band forever. Like, no matter what heights the band comes to, that one guy is going to come from that one day in Baton Rouge, and you're going to be like, I remember you from the very first time.
Yeah, for sure. I was walking to English. My girlfriend had just broken up with me, and you were in my path and handed me a CD.
That's incredible. Tell me about why these people get hooked in. The visual of the band, the live show, like that is definitely the way to enjoy this band is in the live capacity. tell me about, who dreams up these contraptions and who executes the design and building of these insane contraptions, and tell the viewers a little bit about what the fuck they are. Tell them about the goddamn Bassinator and the goddamn Scorpion. What is this shit?
Yeah, so I do all the metal fabrication for the band. I got into it
that's the most calm and relaxed way to say I'm the mad scientist with an engineering degree in the band.
No, I dropped out of that degree for sure because I'm a musician. Come on, I can't finish what I start. So the first idea I ever had that did get built out of metal was the Bassinator, which at the time when the band just started touring, we did a multi-man bass solo where Mark, our guitar player, would come over to my left and hold down like the low notes while I do a solo, play like a melody up top. And Johnny was drumming at the time, and I lived with Mark. We worked on this like little solo together. We bring it to band practice, and everyone's like, "That's cool, but it needs a climax." So Johnny comes out from behind the kit with his sticks, So that's how we built that. It evolved into me wanting to play it like a piano, which evolved into me wanting it to be able to go from this position to spin and lock into like an inverted position. So to do that, I knew it had to be out of metal. And I've always been mechanically interested. I think growing up, I raced motocross and go-karts and even have my glider pilot's license.
This all started from working on bikes.
Yeah. Or there's something so beautiful. Like, have you ever been to like a supercross race?
Yeah, it's fucking incredible.
When you watch those guys, like just flying,
soaring,
how it all
like an eagle.
Yeah. That's kind of the physical energy I hope to add to the stage. Is when you see a band, even when you see like a guitar player jump off of the drum riser and land at the right moment, it's just. It moves you in a way. There's energy to it. So, yeah, that's kind of the spirit of everything I build. So
I love that.
But yeah, just not trained. Just bought a welder. The guy I lived with was an engineer, and he showed me the ropes, and just fell in love with it. So.
Do you work like exclusively on stuff for your own projects? Do you do like anything like for commission? Like, do you have other jobs related? Because it's like I've seen the shit you build, man. It's pretty fucking impressive.
Hey,
it's not just like a dude in a band who can weld a couple things together. It's like some serious engineering to your contraptions.
Yeah, I appreciate it. At some point, I hope so. At this point, not so much.
Right.
Over COVID, I started a project that's it's this massive, it's a drum robot, I call it. It has 6 kick drums, stands 25 feet tall. The whole thing moves and dances kind of thing. The aliens gave me the design. I just, no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, to do that, I started, I had to learn CAD, had to learn a little bit of coding and stuff like that. So I think now I'm able to communicate with other people better when it comes to design and functionality and stuff like that. So yeah, I would love at some point to. I'm hoping, Nothing More has the Rammstein set. That's what I'm envisioning. In the next 10 years, building up to that.
Yeah, they do it on a different level.
That level of everything is custom. Like everything is. It's like if it's not blowing your mind, it doesn't make it. And
right.
it's large and yeah, I don't know. Nothing stock about that band. Nothing.
No, nothing at all.
So yeah, I love it though. I have a good time with it.
And I'm sure. I mean, as much as it adds to the show and you love it, I'm sure there's got to be you pull back the veil a bit, some annoying elements of it about travel and elements of repair on tours and stuff.
Oh yeah. That thing, I mean, Scorpion Tail was the MIDI controller that Johnny plays. The last time we played this festival, it malfunctioned, and so it's designed to pitch the instruments, and it did, but into some wacky thing, and it was like, oh my god, what this sounds so bad. It's like cats dying.
Cats dying.
In all sorts of pitches. But, a lot of annoyances for sure. Everyone always wants to see it, so it's hard to, if we go to Europe, things like that, places where we're don't do as well, and
Yeah.
travel is a lot harder. It's real expensive to take it.
You got to hit the hardware store when you land at Frankfurt.
Yeah.
Start from scratch.
Yeah. That's hilarious. I did for a while have a European version of the drums Johnny plays and the
That's awesome.
Bassinator that lived over there for a while. And it actually ended up in Mexico City at Knotfest, and we left it there because it didn't have a purpose. We just started shipping like the main one back and forth.
And
But
now it permanently lives somewhere in Mexico.
somewhere. I hope there's like a cactus in it, growing, or maybe I don't know. Yeah.
That's awesome. Before we wrap up, I want to just kind of ask, you got Spirits coming out next week, man. Brand new record. You've already got a couple singles out. There's lots of hype. There's some talk of a graphic novel. Tell me what everyone has coming up for them starting next week.
Yeah. So dropping Spirits. We also, something everyone should do now, we have this thing called the Spirits Test. Johnny's been working on it over the last couple years. It's kind of a mixture of the Zodiac and the Myers-Briggs. I don't know. We're all interested in psychology. I think most artists are, and kind of believe like it's better to know more about yourself than to not. And I think that's kind of what's cool about this thing for me. But it coincides with all the album artwork and the graphic novel as
Nice.
well. So yeah.
So check out the Spirits Test.
Yeah, check out the Spirits Test.
I like that.
Yeah, and I cannot remember the website for the life of me. So just overdub.
Yeah, right now.
I think it's spiritstest.com.
Okay, but
Hey,
it may
Spirits
not
Test? Spirits Test. What's the website?
Wow, you nailed it.
Spiritstest.com. You heard him.
be. Absolutely nailed it, Daniel. Dude, I appreciate you taking the time to hang with me. Super stoked to check out the new record, and crazy hyped on what your wild mechanical mind comes up with next. Keep blowing ours, please.
Hey, thanks. Thank you so
Hell yeah.
much.